Do you know that many of the jobs that you see posted on job sites are what are called ghost jobs? And corporations, bigger companies, are posting fake job openings to make themselves look like they're growing to their investors. I had that information uploaded into my brain this week, and that made me very depressed, but also made me feel better, because that's why my job search and the job search of so many other people I know is not going well. And it also makes sense why I've applied for like the same job at a large audio podcasting radio company. I've applied for the same job like 6 times, and I don't even get a response. The job gets posted again. Anyways, I say that stuff because it's easy to get overwhelmed. It's easy to feel bad about the state of the world, and that's just a light story. But here is a Monday morning show as we head into Thanksgiving week. You might not celebrate Thanksgiving for myriad reasons, all of them good. I celebrate the day off. I definitely celebrate the food. I am not going anywhere. I've turned down some invites. Let's talk about that. I feel bad. Some people know that, they don't even know. They just want to know what I'm doing. I have family. I could be going there. In fact, for many years, my Thanksgiving celebration was at my uncle who lived in town here, now lives in Vegas, so that doesn't happen. Then it was also my friend Paul's family. They were always generous. So I have good Thanksgivings. I've not always been a lone wolf. I don't feel comfortable at family parties, even my own. I don't feel comfortable at any party that's predominantly a family. Like, even I was at a baby shower or in the springtime. It was a good time. No complaints. Great food, snacks. I snuck back and stole some of the extra little puddings that they had. I think people saw me, but what are you going to do about it? I looked that kid right in the eye and said, "I'm taking a second round. What are you going to do?" Some toddler wandered off. Those are my treats. Anyways, I had a good time, but I just don't know what to do around families. I was just coming back down from my family, my mom and dad and their dogs. Franny didn't do great. She didn't do bad. And I guess I'm addicted to content because I just pulled in. I'm recording this like 5:13. I just got home at 4. And it was the first thing I was like, I'm hungry. I got to unpack. I got to put some peanuts out for the squirrels because they didn't have any for breakfast. And 2 showed up right away. Like, "Hey, dude, where were the squirrels?" And then I was like, crap, I better create. I better get a podcast out. And I was like, well, what if I was to take the week off? It is like Thanksgiving. No, then we don't survive. And I'm exhausted from the constant pursuit of survival. But I also like hanging out and chatting with you all here. And Monday morning show is supposed to be a quiet, reflective show, but maybe today's a little different. I don't know. All I'm saying is I have no problem with family gatherings. I have no problem with people who enjoy families, Irish families, Italian families, name your family. Mixed families, those are possible here. Friendsgivings, okay. Despite the very problematic, I'm putting quotes around problematic, despite the, the murky history of Thanksgiving and the story around Thanksgiving, I really do contend, even though I am someone who's a fan of woke history, if you will, unless, it's Ken Burns, that it's propaganda, that don't even get me started on that. But I just don't, Ken Burns isn't a historian, and he'll tell you that. Jesus, H. Christ, not his real middle name. Despite the history of Thanksgiving, I've always said I like the idea around it. What's wrong with gathering up? I just don't do well. I have determined this. I don't do well around families, and I apologize for it. I've been invited to some things for the holidays. I want to acknowledge the concern of people in my life who don't, again, as I started to say at the beginning of the show, who don't know what my plans are. They do not know what my plans are. They know that this year has been tough on me. They know that this year finds me alone at the holidays, potentially. And they just want to make sure I'm okay. I appreciate that. I've turned down every invite. I've turned down Every invite. I'm going to power down at one point this week on Thursday. We'll have shows all Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, shows Friday, work through the weekend. All good. It's the life I chose. Side note, I was talking with a friend, and he's on duty tonight. He's a police officer. He's working an off-duty kind of security gig. And he was talking about the overtime he's going to get from this gig because he's working like a 17-hour day. And he's like, he made a joke. He's like, because it's not a peace officer job. He's like, you know, they have to pay overtime if you work more than 8 hours. And he's working 12, so he's like, I'm gonna get double time. He's joking. Like, did you hear this? And I thought about it for a second. I was like, no, actually, I've not had a job since 2015. And that includes Screen Junkies and Collider. I was just paid this is your salary, and we expect you to be there whenever we want. Though there's some legal protections in California with that often those companies overlook. Including that I had a start time. You want to know what one of my biggest beefs with Collider was? You want to know when the relationship between me and Collider started to go wrong? Was like a couple months into me switching from Screen Junkies to Collider. I joined in like October. They announced that starting like January, mandatory 9 a.m. start time with a meeting. I was a salaried employee in the state of California. You could not dictate where and when I could be within reason. Both ways, right? Like I had to work. It wasn't a remote job. That didn't exist. But like you couldn't say you have to be here at 9 because I was a salaried employee. Exempt. Anyways, and that was like, oh, this is not going to last for a lot of reasons. Anyways, I apologize to my friends who invited me and I've turned down. I do have things to do. But on Thanksgiving, I'm powering down. And since this show, Monday morning show, isn't just me bitching, it isn't just me bitching about having to be in meetings, which I hate. It's me looking ahead to my week. And I started that story with the job search thing because, nothing changes for me this week. Nothing changes for you this week. Our troubles, of which are many, I'm sure, cannot just simply be put up on a shelf. But my goal this week is to, at least on Thursday, to do just that. To do just that. And I guess that requires having to be very much in the present with your feet on the ground and in the moment and all those kind of things that we've talked about on this show or the things you see on T-shirts or bumper stickers or YouTube videos. Not like this one. I'm not a trained professional. I'm not even a trained amateur. But I do think you might need to work at it this week with me. If you got a big family thing and it's stressful and everything, maybe that's not the day. Maybe it's the day after. You going to Black Friday? Don't. But also at the same time, put money into our economy. I don't know. I don't even know. Is that a thing? How's Black Friday still a thing this year? Doesn't matter. My biggest challenge this week is if I truly am going to take a day off. That means take a day off. And for someone like me, a freelancer who is behind on work, I have a stack of Post-it notes of ASMR video shorts I have to edit. I have a video for Mark Ellis I have to edit. I have a ton of things that I have to do that I'm already like, well, by Thursday afternoon, if the food's been eaten and football games are boring, yeah, I could do some work. It's not just about the work. My biggest struggle is never having the ability to turn it off, as I've talked about here. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, the exhaustion to just simply survive. And last week we talked about find your 5 minutes, right? Find your 5 minutes. So I'm expanding on that. I'm going to find my day. I'm not saying that you need, could, should, would, or even have the opportunity to find your day. I am going to put my feet on the ground and be present in where my life is on this Thursday's holiday. Again, a caveat to the point of almost being a dick. If you don't celebrate, good. If it's not for you, good. If you got big family, good, whatever. But for me, my journey this week, it's not just simply to go, I'm not working, laptop closed, which is valuable, a great strategy. It's to do that because I know I can. That's what I'm talking about, putting the feet on the ground and be present in my own life. I'm going to do a check. On Thursday. My health. Yeah, okay, maybe I don't have to do a full-on workout. And then also, maybe I don't have to beat myself up for what I'm about to eat. Did that a lot this weekend. Really beat myself up for what I was eating, which is outpacing what I'm doing in the gym. And I'm feeling it, and I'm looking at it. And I really started to hate myself for it. I'm going to put that on the shelf. Because I can. Because there's nothing dire, or there's nothing that's going to change drastically. Going a little lighter on the mashed potatoes and curling 2 more reps, it's not going to turn me into the Rock today or this week. It's to look at my bank account and go, a lot less than we hope, a lot less than we need. But today, as I'm present in myself, I'm taken care of. By the way, I want to shout out someone on, I don't even know if they listen to this, but there's Brandon. I think I only have an email address. I have to double check. It's been a crazy week. If you're listening and you know what you did on the old Bandcamp when you purchased my comedy album and left a sizable additional amount, humbled, number one, grateful, puts food on the table. Just thank you. I'll get back into my Bandcamp and reach out directly. But if you happen to be listening, thank you. So because of stuff like that, I'm going to take stock. I'm going to put the feet on the ground. It's one of my favorite things. Put your feet on the ground and breathe and feel. And on Thursday, I'm looking for Thursday because I'm going to be busy next few days. On Thursday, we're going to be like, do we have our health? I guess I'm recording this too soon. I might lose my health. If I need to, could I go purchase something right now today? Food or something like that? Yeah, I can. In fact, I'm gonna. Got it. Do I have people that listen to my shows? Do I have an audience that shows up for me? It's not big enough. Do you have it? Yeah, you do. Are they going to return to you if you take a couple days off? Are they going to return to you if you just take 1 day off? Yeah. You've built that. They show up. You try to show up for them. They continue to show up for you. You got it. Feet on the ground. I'm going to take stock as if, you're doing the check. Because I think that's the rest that I need. By the next day, you wake up and you're back to work and you kind of feel like you didn't get the rest you need, all that stuff. That doesn't matter. Last week, we talked about those 5 minutes. That was all about just being there and okay. I was driving home today, 3 hours on the road, a little bit of a holiday beach traffic of people going to or going from places to get to where they want to go for the holidays. So I had a little time. Franny was passed out next to me, then would bark for 20 minutes straight, then would pass out again. And it was during those quiet times that it was like, I started looking at this week and I started to ramp up. I started to press the foot on the gas, even as I was actually driving. And the feelings of being overwhelmed kind of took over. And then I was like, I actually had this thought. Well, you know what? Because I have this plan, my big plan. I love doing it. Whole Foods, which you normally do need a loan to go shopping there. The Whole Foods got the nice hot bar. Got some great food. Done this before. Grace and I used to do this. People are working there, getting holiday pay, I hope. It's not a full day. It's not open all day. But you go there, pick out the food you want, get a little special treat here and there. Done. Easy, no fuss. I really enjoy it. But I started to tell myself, as I was driving home, no. You got that thing you got to edit. You got to do that thing. What if on Wednesday you just go to get a microwave, get a frozen pizza, just do that. You don't need anything special. Maybe get some microwave mashed potatoes. Doesn't matter. You got work to do. You got things to do. Do not power down. And that's why I was like, I've got to put this down for the record. On a Monday morning show. I've got to sit with all of you, those who show up for me, and say no. Much like last week, we searched for 5 minutes, and I hope you found it this week. This Thursday, for me, is a big challenge to not just relax, but to accept where I am, be okay with it, breathe deep, feel it, let the stress go. Let the desire to plan, to fix, to fill in the blanks, let it all go. And you know what? It even might be boring. I might be bored on Thursday. But that's an earned feeling of, well, I got nothing to do. That's a privileged feeling. To be like, I'm in a house, I'm in a place that allows me to be bored today. So you know what? Maybe that's the lesson. Earn the right to be bored. Find the time to be bored. Know that you can be bored. We'll come back and see how that goes. Nothing profound, nothing poignant for me today. I shouldn't even be recording. I'm starving. Been on the road, kind of a hectic 24 hours at my hometown. Kind of a one-day whirlwind trip. The head's spinning. But I wanted to slow down, stand before you all, and say, I think I'm going to be bored. I think it's going to be great. All due respect, all love to those that did invite me to Thanksgiving events. You know who you are, if you're listening. I'll catch you on the flip side. I'm going to do this one by myself. Like I said, it's going to be fun being bored. We'll see you the week after. December's here, the end of the year. Oh, boy. I didn't think I'd be here, but I'm still standing. Are you? You are. Feet on the ground. Let's stand together. See you next time here on a Monday morning show. Did I just salute like John Cena? Did I just do that?